Hello everyone, welcome to the land of Korean cinema. Squid Game ended up being the biggest show Netflix has ever produced, and as a lover of Korean cinema it obviously feels really good. But I'm also a bit sad because as much as I enjoy Squid Game, well, it's not that good. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely enjoyed the show, but I guess you can say I'm spoiled by Korean cinema, and Squid Game is definitely not the be-all end-all of K-dramas. So if Squid Game happens to be one of the first K-dramas you've ever seen, allow me to introduce you 10 K-dramas that are in my opinion better than Squid Game. I reviewed all of these shows, the links are in the description, you can watch them all if you want. Without any further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Kingdom. Kingdom. Zombies in the late 16th century? Hell yes! Kingdom is also a Netflix show, and it did enjoy quite a bit of success, and it's no coincidence. Koreans know how to make a good zombie flick, just think of Train to Busan. But even then, Kingdom feels really fresh. The time period it's set in stirs up things already, plus there's also an actual cause for the zombie outbreak, the zombies are fast and merciless, and the performances are really strong. Especially Chu Ji-hoon as the Crown Prince and Peduna as a nurse. But it's not just a zombie show, it's also a really good political thriller, and this mix is very effective, and the cinematography is gorgeous. Highly recommended. Number 9. Goblin. 쓸쓸하고 잘나신 도깨비. Goblin stars Kong Yoo, who played the recruiter in Squid Game, and Kim Go-eun. Kong Yoo plays a 900-year-old man who was cursed, so he can die unless he finally meets his destined wife. Goblin is basically a romantic drama, but it's elevated by the fantastic performances of the main cast. It also tackles some subjects which are taboos in Korea, mostly an older man and a younger woman being in a relationship together. It's really funny, really entertaining, and a tad bit magical. Watch this if you want to have a great time. Number 8. The World of the Married. 부부의 세계. This one's a beast! It's a family drama, but it's heavier than a lot of thrillers. The basic story is very simple. We have a typical perfect family that turns out to be not so perfect when the wife discovers that her husband is cheating on her. The show speaks about a very relevant issue in society today and does it incredibly well. Kimi is mesmerizing as the wife, but performances are really strong across the board. It's not an easy watch, but a very intriguing one nonetheless. Number 7. It's Okay to Not Be Okay. 사이코지만 괜찮아. Once again, a romantic drama that is so much more than just a romantic drama. The story revolves around a young woman who's a successful writer of children's books, and a caretaker at a psychiatric ward who has an autistic brother. The show manages to tell a story about mental health in a highly entertaining way, never putting down the mentally disabled. All three main leads are excellent, namely Seo Ye-ji, Kim Soo-yeon, and Oh Jung-se. This is a really funny show, but also very deep, and heartwarming, and fantastic. Number 6. The Hymn of Death. Sae Chang-mi. This is a true story about a poet and an opera singer in the early 1900s. At that time, Korea was under Japanese rule, and this show is a great reflection of that time period. Not only that, this is a gripping story with incredible performances by Lee Jong-suk and Shin Hye-sun. Although they play lovers, there are about 1,000 reasons why they can be together. Political and hierarchical reasons as well. It's a really short series with only 6 30-minute episodes, and no frame is wasted here. Immaculate pacing, cinematography, and performances. I enjoyed this one so much I watched it twice in a row, and most likely so will you. Number 5. Beyond Evil. 괴물. One of the absolute best K-dramas to come out in 2021. Beyond Evil is a thriller about a serial murder case where everyone looks really suspicious, especially the main character played by Shin Ha-gyun. And he's a police officer. His new partner played by Yeo Jin-woo is especially suspicious of him, and it's true the other way around as well. Their dynamic in the show is unbelievable, their chemistry just oozes off the screen. And the case is really interesting too. Ha Sung-tae also stars in the show, so if you're a fan of Squid Game, here's a little connection for you. If you want to watch one of the best shows of 2021, do not miss Beyond Evil. Number 4. Save Me. 구해줘. An absolute masterpiece of a thriller about a family which moves to the countryside and after a tragic event gets sucked into the local religious cult. Only the daughter remains sane, played by Seo Ye-ji. We get to see all the dirty stuff hidden beneath a religious cult, and trust me, it's not pretty. Save Me is scarier than most horror movies because the things that happen in the show are actually happening in real life. It's a painfully realistic study on blind faith and its disastrous consequences. Immaculate pacing, amazing acting, and an exciting story. A must watch. Number 3. Mouse. Mousey. Once again, one of the best shows of 2021, and it's a thriller again. Lee Hee-jun and Lee Seung-gi are playing police officers who are trying to track down a psychopathic serial killer. But the show is so much more than that. Just ask yourself, what if a psychopathic killer suddenly started to have empathy? Would he regret what he had done? Mouse is one of the darkest shows you can find. It never loses its grip and manages to stay really intense for 20 episodes. Almost flawless in its execution, it's a must-watch for fans of thrillers or anyone who loves a really interesting story with surprises along the way. Number 2. My Mister. 나의 아저씨. Starring Lee Sung-kyun, whom you might have seen in Parasite, and IU, who is a highly successful singer in Korea, and as it turns out an amazing actress as well. It's the story about the relationship of a middle-aged man and a young woman who starts to work at the same company part-time. A perfect setup for a romantic drama, but My Mister isn't really about romance, it's about human relationships. If you're looking for something intense, you're at the wrong place, but if you love stories about human relationships, you really couldn't find anything better than this. The performances are fantastic, the show is very atmospheric, and, as I mentioned in my review, this is a perfect show for November. Since November is coming, go and check out My Mister. Number 1. Mr. Sunshine. Mr. Sunshine. I'm sorry if I come across as predictable, but honestly, nothing really compares to Mr. Sunshine. The show stars Lee Byung-hun, who played the frontman in Squid Game, and Kim Tae-ri, who you might have seen in Space Sweepers. What a terrible movie that was! Mr. Sunshine is a period piece, taking place a few years earlier than Hymn of Death, during the Japanese occupation of Korea. Lee Byung-hun's character was born a slave, but escaped to America when he was little, and now he comes back to Korea as an American soldier. He meets Kim Tae-ri, who is a young noble woman, but as it turns out, they have a lot of things in common. The show might seem like a romantic drama, but don't let this mislead you. Mr. Sunshine isn't just one thing. Mr. Sunshine is everything. The sheer complexity of the show alone deserves a praise, but it also has amazing characters, incredible actors, and the best cinematography you'll ever see in a TV show. The show looks like a beautiful painting. It's more cinematic than 99% of movies today. And although I'm still not a huge fan of the last episode, it seems like I'm the only one who isn't, so if you wanna watch something truly magnificent, look no further. Mr. Sunshine is the way to go. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments which K-dramas do you think are better than Squid Game. See you all in my next review. 다음 시간에 만나요, 여러분. 안녕히 계세요.